Hey there! So it's been quite a while since I've done a single video. Just me and myself and I, completely all alone. Well, aside from the first DBN video, but that one was more made on the spot. I wasn't planning it. This one I did plan it. Thank you to the one singular vote on the poll that decided that I should do literally everything on DBN. So we're gonna be doing like from base to Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken and full power Super Saiyan 4 on Goku, the Vegeta, the false Super Saiyan, and then the Future Gohan. All in one sitting. So we may as well start right now. So first most basic move that you'll probably not use half the time, your Z move, which on base is Kamehameha. And as you saw there, does 250 million damage at full power level in base. No boosts or anything. Now, to my knowledge, you can't do anything special with it. You can block it, and it does like shredding damage, so it will like take your health by ticks. And then you got Kienzan, your HZ. So you hold H and you cast it, like you hold H and then you press Z. So that was 7 billion in base. One tick of damage, it does a big amount of damage in one shot. And obviously your most common move, which is you're probably going to use in movement in combat, your X, which is instant transmission on like every moveset for Goku. Now if you are locked on, I'll show you right here. If it works on the dummy, that is. So, if you are locked on and you press X, you will teleport to your target. So locked on is basically whoever you hit the most recently, I believe, you will teleport straight behind them. The next move here is Spirit Shot. These are all the base like moves that you would start out with. I will show the viable moves after I'm done every basic move. So, Spirit Shot. 2 ticks of 4 billion damage. Pretty simple. It pushes people away, so it can help you get some distance off of people. Meteor Combination. This one is a rush move. The cutscene. So it does like 700 million on the first hit, 400 million on the rest, and then it does one final hit with the Kamehameha, which I don't know the damage, it didn't tell me there. I don't know everything by heart, so you'll have to excuse me if I get stuff wrong. Next up is Invisible Eye Blast. This move just does 2 billion, it has great range, and it is also lock-on. Now your Q move, Dragon Throw. Pretty simple, you do 7 billion, and you can throw them depending on where your mouse is aimed. You can throw them on the ground, you can throw them all the way up in the air, or you can throw them to a wall if you're close enough. That's about it. You got your taunt. Pretty simple. The G move, Saiyan Soul. If I remember correctly, this does a minor heal, maybe 10% HP, and it does give you super armor if I recall. Meaning that you will not get hit by rush moves, but you can still be susceptible to beams and stuff like that. Next up is Time Square Kaioken Kamehameha, your V move, which is your ultimate all the time. Has a very long startup, but it does great damage. 750 million per hit. And it hits quite a lot of times because it's a beam. And I believe it does even more on the ×4, but I don't know how much. But I would suspect it's around a bit more than 750 million. So, next up will be Super Saiyan. I will show Kaioken afterwards. If you notice that my hair color is different, it's because I have the full power Super Saiyan skin. It just changes my hair color. So your Z move, Super Kamehameha. Same thing as Kamehameha, just stronger, 12 billion per hit. Nothing special. Shining Kidama, HZ. It's mouse aimed, it's a huge ball directed by your mouse, and will hit your target as soon as you land on them. Basically, instant transmission Guyson hits on everyone. Now, Gekiretsu Madan, I think that's how you pronounce it. You'll have to, you know, excuse that. It's a volley of Ki Blasts, which I believe are also lock-on dependent if you are locked on. Then we got Blast Fist. This one is a close range move. So you'll only hit it from close range. 122 billion damage per hit, hits about 3 times. Oh yeah, and also something special is that Super Saiyan is the only transformation to have specialized clips on Goku. Next up is Meteor Smash, another close range move. Oh no, wait. Okay, sorry, I was thinking of the Super Saiyan 3 one. This one's the Rush. This one's the Rush variant, yeah. Next up is Super Kai. This one's also lock-on dependent, just does 1 bit of damage and sends your enemy pretty far away. Can be blocked, which means if anything is blockable, or unblockable I mean, it will be counterable. Your G move will be Power Stance. This one will heal you over time and give you quite a big amount of Ki. I think it's around 1,000. And take note that I don't have the default Ki gain Ki amount either. You start with 3,000. I have an item that lets me have 5,000. Now your ultimate is Angry Kamehameha. I will jump up for this one. So as you can see, on hit it will do explosion damage, meaning that even if you don't actually land the beam, if they're inside of just the area of effect, they will still take a great amount of damage. Super Saiyan is a really good, powerful transformation, and it has its own taunt compared to base. Now usually they used to be text boxes over your head when this happened, but I think you can tell what he's saying if you've watched Dragon Ball in Japanese at least. So, give me a minute here, I will switch over to Kaioken. Alright, so, Kaioken. This move is a viable move that will allow you to access Kaioken. It's 800 endpoints, and it also replaces your C move, which is Meteor Combination on base. Once you go into Kaioken, you get a times 20 multiplier. So anyways, Kaioken. First move is Kaioken Kamehameha. Similar to Angry Kamehameha, it will have a explosion damage, just a small explosion, and it will also, like, I think it's one of the fastest Kamehamehas in the game. It just shoots right there in one shot. Now your HZ and HX, or just your HX actually, is different compared to base, which is Spirit Shock, which, okay, I got laggy there, but it's basically similar to Invisible Eye Blast if I remember. Let me do it again. Yeah, very similar to Invisible Eye Blast. I believe it's lock-on dependent as well. And I think it blows people away. I can't recall. I don't really use Kaioken that much. So your next up is Kaioken Fist. Does 2 hits of damage, explodes, and it is a rush move, obviously. Next move is Kaioken Finish. This one's a close range move. 2 hits, or I believe 3 on the throw. It will leave your target stunned on the ground, which will allow you to follow up. Your ultimate is times 4 Kaioken Kamehameha, although I believe times 20 has been added to beta, so I will have to go ahead and buy that and then show it off later. Now your G move is Energy Shield. Basically this just gives you super armor and will defend you from rush moves, stuff like that. You'll be, I believe you can still be grabbed? I'm not too sure. But anyways, let's go back on track. Super Saiyan 2. I believe Super Saiyan 2 has its own quote? No, it doesn't. Okay. So, same thing as Super Saiyan, it has Super Kamehameha, no difference except it's stronger than the Super Saiyan version. Its HZ is Scattering Bullet. You'll fire a small little Ki Blast that will then scatter on impact and do multiple hits of damage. It will also send you backwards a little bit, which can be great to try and avoid moves, technically. So, for example, if I'm about to be hit, or I anticipate a hit, I can use it to back away. Small amount of distance. Next move is Saiyan Aura Blast, which is a beam. I missed the bag, but basically it's a beam, and it does an explosion on hit, just like Kaioken Kamehameha. Your next move, Dual Ki Blast Dash. This one's a mouse aim dash like most of the others. You'll basically hit your target and then appear behind them and then hit them with both of the Ki Blasts that you have inside your hand. Pretty basic and simple. Your HC, Meteor Blast. This one is technically close range, but it is actually a medium ranged move. If you're locked on, I believe you'll be able to hit your enemy from a great decent distance. I would say like if they're about over here. Let's say the blue bag is you. I believe this is like roughly the range, or it might have even greater range. Now Gekirutsu Madan, which is your Q in Super Saiyan 2 instead of HC. Or no, HX, sorry. Same thing as Super Saiyan, just stronger. Your ultimate is Flashing Kamehameha. It's very similar to ×4, long startup, and very powerful once it lands. If I can get the damage here, but I don't think I got it. It will do quite a lot of damage, but it has a very long startup, obviously. Your G move, your G move, which is full power charge. This one, unlike the other ones you've seen so far, will not heal you, but it will give you about 2,000 ki, if I remember, and I believe it also gives you cooldowns back. Now on to Super Saiyan 3. Now as you can see, Super Saiyan 3 has an entirely different moveset to everyone. Of course, instant transmission is still the same. The Z move is True Kamehameha. It's got a long startup, and it does a lot of damage. 200 billion per hit. Now, Super Kai Barrage. Very similar to the normal Super Kai, except with lock-on, it will hit multiple times, and it does a great deal amount of stun. And it is blockable, but it still is quite annoying to deal with. Now, Super... Why am I saying Super? All Out Saiyan Aura Blast. Very similar to the Super Saiyan 2 version, except that it's far stronger, and it has lock-on and blows up. Now, even though it has lock-on, that doesn't mean that it will land. The lock-on on it actually kind of ruins the move, because you could be locked onto their position, but they are already moved out the way. Your next move is Ki Fusion Sphere. You charge up a huge ball, and then for 4 trillion of one single hit, it blows up. Now, your Q move, Diving Fist. I think I saw 1 trillion damage on the bag, I can't tell. But basically with lock-on, it is a very useful move and will stun your enemy, leaving them on the ground, which can allow you to even follow up with Meteor Smash. This is the close range move, and we'll do this at the end. A large Kamehameha, which is very good, honestly one of my favorite moves. Now, last but not least, Diving Fist, or Dragon Fist. Why am I saying Diving Fist? 3 trillion, and then 900 billion, and another 3 trillion. So you hit once, you go straight through them with the Dragon Fist, and then it blows up. Pretty simple. The G move is full power charge, so again, gives you cooldowns and ki. I'm messing up since I'm talking so fast, I'm gonna be doing literally everyone in one shot. Super Saiyan God is your next transformation. So once you're in your transformation menu, you press V, and then you get the new slot. So Super Saiyan God, you got God Kamehameha. You jump up into the air, and then with your mouse, you aim the beam. Honestly, one of the better beams to be actually using, because it doesn't have that much startup, and it allows you to avoid some moves. Your next move, which is God Bind, you need to lock on for this one. If you don't have lock-on, it'll miss, and basically it'll envelop your enemy into an orb, and they will get stunned for the amount of time that it's inside. If I remember correctly, the Godbind will be dispelled if you start attacking them, or it could be remembering incorrectly. Your HX is Hyperspeed Movement. It's a close-range move, or if it has lock-on, it will reach out to your enemy with a great deal, very similar to Meteor Brick and Diving Fist. Now you've got Super God Fist next. This one's a little off for me to land. 2 trillion. You'll jump up into the air, and then you start aiming with your mouse where you're gonna hit. Pretty simple. I can't recall if it does stun. It might. But the next one is God Dragon Shot. Another mouse aim rush. You'll have this key ball in your hand. For 4 trillion damage, it'll blow up. And then you've got your G move, Limit Break. This one will give ki and health as well. Honestly, one of the better healing moves, honestly. I really like it all. It's quick and simple. Now your ultimate on this one, Genkai Topa Kamehameha. It takes a great deal amount of your ki, as you can see there. Charges up for a long time, and then... Wait for it. There you go. Huge beam that'll do a ton of damage. I believe this beam is strong enough to at least do like half the health of someone in Super Saiyan Blue or Super Saiyan 4. Also, I think I forgot to mention, most forms have their own ki blasts. I would have to go back on some transformations to see them all. Super Saiyan God has basically like his finger shot. Straight after Super Saiyan God is blue. Or Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. I don't know. The weirdos. So anyways, Z move is the same. Just a stronger variant because it's a stronger form. Your HZ is Kienzan Ruku Maiba. It's a huge Kienzan, which will then split into 4. Which all those 4 will also do damage, and I believe all of them are unblockable. Your HX is the same as the Kaioken G move, it's just a blue version of Energy Shield. Same thing, just different form. Your C move is God Crash. Mouse aimed rush move. And on this last hit here with the Ki Blast, it will send them flying. And also will blow them up. Now 1-inch punch, I think you can tell, this is a counter. Once someone hits you with anything, whether it be like a Ki Blast or a punch, you'll close in on them and punch them in the stomach, and you will then stun them, which can allow you to follow up with anything like, say, Dragon. Power stance is the same as Super Saiyan, no big difference. Gives you ki and heals you over time. Next up, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Now I forgot to mention the multipliers. So your Z move is Burst Kamehameha. You'll fire Kamehameha with a decent startup, and then you will shoot again. The second hit will do even more damage than the first. Now your HZ, which is another move dependent on lock-on. You can still use it without lock-on, but it would be better to use it with. It'll charge up a Kamehameha, and then it will just blast into small Ki Blasts, just a huge barrage, which does quite a lot of damage, and I believe each Ki Blast slowly, like, makes the person, like, you know, tick away while they're being hit, just like this. Now, your HZ, or HX, sorry, it's Hyperspeed Movement, but it's actually Hyperspeed Movement Type 2. It's a completely different variant. I believe it works exactly as Hyperspeed Movement, maybe with less range, and maybe the blast sends them away, I can't recall. But yeah, this move can be equipped, or I mean, removed for the first one, which actually, stuns people. Your C is dual tracking Ki Sphere, which by the name you would suppose it needs lock on because it's tracking. Your next move is Grudgeless Strike. It's a very fast mouse-aimed rush move, which will hit twice and also blow up. Your Q is Fierce God Strike. This one's a little hard to land on a bag for me. Basically, you'll hop towards the target, and then you'll stun them. If I can get this, just give me a second to charge up the cooldown. I believe most of the time you can just land it from being very close. Yeah, like that. You hit them once, 22 trillion, and they'll be stunned. Now your V move, unlike others, this one's not a beam. Neither is it a rush like Dragon Fist. Dragon Hammer is a close range move. You'll do 3 trillion, for some reason it does 0 here, and then you'll finish off with a large beam. Oh, and then you'll do that. You'll do quite a lot of damage with this one, considering it is like very... Well, I would say it's very hard to land, but as long as you click someone, you can easily like do it right, like as soon as you do 3 clicks. Like you could literally just do this. And then just boom, they're dead. So next up is Super Saiyan 4. Pretty simple and one of my favorite forms. Your Z is times 10 Kamehameha. Has a long charge up. Like, very long charge up. can't see the damage. I'd assume it's probably stronger than God Kamehameha just because it's a longer beam, but I don't know. Your HZ is Wild Sense, which is a counter. It acts very similar to After Image. Once you get hit, I believe you'll counter back and stun the person. Your HX is Kai Cannon. It is lock-on dependent, but you can't aim it. You'll just shoot a Kai that's more like a finger beam type of thing. Basically, you'll just hit them, and it will send them away. Your C is Dragon Fist, very similar to the V version of Super Saiyan 3, or it's the exact same, but far stronger. Your HC is Turtle Swoop, which works a lot like the Fierceless God Strike. It's hard for me to land on a blue sandbag, but your G is I'll beat you in 5 seconds, and very courteous to the name, you get a huge stat buff for 5 seconds. So you'll do extra damage for 5 seconds, which is very good for if you want to get a fight done quicker. Now on to Full Power Super Saiyan 4, which requires the In Development Game Pass, which I do have. So, times 10 Kamehameha is the same, does more damage. Your HZ is Dragon Fist Type 2. It's a lot like Kai Cannon, it's dependent on lock-on, and you'll just shoot a little dragon. Now your HX is Dragon Blaster. It's a lot like Ki Fusion Sphere, but it's I'd say it's more of a mix of that move and Scattering Bullet. You just charge up a big ball, you shoot it, and it scatters into multiple Ki Blasts, which honestly does quite a lot of damage. Your Q is Dragon Breaker, 3 trillion, and 6 trillion. It's a aimed rush move, and it's very good for stunning. So, okay, and I'm back. So I've got a few, I'm gonna have to probably switch on the spot. Let's see. So, HZ After Image, it can pretty much be equipped on almost every transformation, or I think all of them. You can equip After Image on every transformation, and it's always going to be HZ. So when you use it, this little white effect will appear under you, and basically, you now stacked up a dodge. So if you get hit by absolutely anything, whether it be a beam, a Ki Blast, a punch, a rush move, anything of the sort, you will automatically dodge as long as you aren't doing an action. Now, Taioken, my most hated move, I despise this thing. Basically, once you are near someone, you will stun them. It's the translation to Taioken is Solar Flare, which will stun the enemy, and then you can do whatever the hell you want with them. Now, Twin Dragon Shot Type 1. You'll do these little balls, which I believe at the startup you'll have iframes. Now, basically the idea of this is that, depending on where you aim, or I think if it's also lock-on, you will shoot these 2 little balls, and both of them for 7 billion damage, you'll hit them. Now, you can do this max amount of 3 times before they both disappear. On the first hit, they'll both hit. On the second hit, one of them will disappear. And on the third and final hit, the other one will disappear. But Gatai Genki Dama cannot. Now this one, you'll just have a long charge up, but I believe you are completely... immortal would be the term, but you have iframes the entirety of the whole move. You'll throw this. Basically, this is the Spirit Bomb that Goku used on Vegeta. If it hits someone, they will be sent up in the air and they will be hit multiple times throughout the move. Which, honestly, it's quite of a fun, easy move to use if it wasn't completely overshadowed by the super version of it. Now, next up, we've got Super Divine Water, which can be equipped on any transformation as well. You'll drink this up, and you will lose health, and you will gain Ki, and I believe you'll have reduced cooldowns or gain cooldowns. Now Q, I believe everyone loves to just meat ride the fucking hell out of this counter. I cannot, I don't know how people, can meat ride the hell out of it. Yeah, it was cool the first few times when we first ever seen it. I mean, I think I had it on almost every transformation in my old videos, but plain and simple, it can be equipped on any transformation, it replaces Q, And you'll stand there looking like a fucking dumbass if you miss it. I thought I should mention, HZ has Scattering Bullet and Finger Beam that can also be given. Scattering Bullet can be given on actually every transformation, which is pretty fun. It's a quick and easy move to use. It does, like, you know, a little bit of damage. It's perfect. Now, for Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 specifically, you can buy and equip Warp Kamehameha to replace Super Kamehameha. Now, I believe it does the same damage, but basically, if you're locked on, you'll charge up a Kamehameha and teleport right in someone's face, just like Goku did to Cell. Double Kamehameha can also be bought. I would have to pull up all of their prices as I'm editing this. But basically, it replaces HC and will shoot 2 Kamehamehas from both of your hands. In all honesty, I find this move kind of useless because it's just a beam type move, and it replaces your HC, which half the time on almost every transformation, HC is like your best move for like stunning or something like that. Oh, and also, Super Kai can also be equipped on any transformation. You unlock this, I believe, when you unlock Super Saiyan itself. Power up to the very limit. This move will give you a buff for, I believe, 30 seconds. It will reduce all of your cooldowns for the whole huge damage buff. And like I recall, it is like 30 seconds or something. So you do a shit ton of damage for a long period of time at the cost of your cooldowns. But once the buff ends, and you will very well know when it ends, because it will take away your HP right here. HC again, Twin Dragon Shot Type 2. This version is really good for extending combos. And again, another one I hate because people pair this move up with Taioken. So you do this, and you will stun someone in front of you. You can instantly follow up just like that. No precautions. And I also completely forgot, your X move can also be replaced with Instant Transmission Type 2. Now this one can be equipped to every instant transmission, and with lock-on, well, it didn't work, but you get a completely different version of the move. And the idea is, once you have lock-on, instead of teleporting behind someone, I mean, you still do teleport behind them, you'll teleport behind them and follow up with a kick. Now, I think it either stuns them or stuns them away, I can't remember which. After unlocking Super Saiyan God, you can equip Hyperspeed movement on Blue, Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken to replace the Type 1 version. And you can also equip Geritsumedan, or Gekiretsumedan, or whatever. Continuous Kamehameha. You'll do a short little jump, and then you will hit your enemy. This will send them super far away and shoot a ton of Kamehamehas at them, which is quite good for a lot of damage in one go. The Super Spirit Bomb, which basically, this one's going to take a while for me to charge up, so I'll explain it. You charge up a Super Spirit Bomb, you know, the one that Goku did on Majin Buu. You'll charge it up, and then... Oh no, wait, actually? This one was on Frieza, now that I think about it. The Frieza version, yeah. You'll charge up, and then you'll see the huge Spirit Bomb above your head, which will pretty much indicate everyone where the fuck you are, and that they are about to get nuked the hell out of. Now, after your cooldown has gone off with it, you can then cast it. Next up on our character list, which will be quite easy, is False Super Saiyan Goku. He's his own character, and he's about as strong as Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken when you finally max out his entire, you know, his health bar and his power level, or I think just his power level. As you can see, he's got a very similar moveset to Super Saiyan, but he is just fucking nuts. So, his Kamehameha, maybe one of the best ones in the game. It shoots really fast, explodes on hit, and does quite a lot of damage. Pretty simple. And now we got Kai Barrage. This one's dependent on lock-on. Unlike Super Kai Barrage, it doesn't do a billion of them. And I believe it's lock-on dependent. And it will basically stun your opponent for the first few hits. So you could instantly follow up with an instant transmission, which is much faster than the base one in Goku. Here are his clicks, how they look like. You'll do a little hop on your first hit. So an overhead slam, then you'll kick them, and then you'll punch them for the final hit and send them away. Your HX is Fierce Beam Barrage. You'll just spam a bunch of beams that all explode on hit. And it's basically like Saiyan Aura Blast, but if it was like much better. And speaking of Aura Blast, we got Angry Saiyan Aura Blast. It'll jump up in the air, very similar to God Kamehameha, and then I think it's supposed to be mouse aimed, or it's lock-on dependent. You'll shoot a beam and it will blow up on hit. Now, one of the most annoying moves to deal with, if I can hit the dummy at the back, sorry. Berserk on your HX, or HC. I'm messing up everything, but basically, you envelop yourself in a little orb of ki, and then you'll shoot a bunch of little ki blasts that are lock-on dependent. You have an entirety of super armor during that, so you cannot be hit by anything else except for beams and stuff like that. And this move does like a lot of fucking damage. Now your Q is Justice Dash. Now, as the name implies, it is a mouse-aimed rush move. It will do one hit and will send your target super far away. Now, Power Stance. You might think I would have skipped over it because it's the same, but no, this one's different. It gives you your cooldowns back, it heals in ticks, and gives you ki, and will also give you super armor. This little orb here will protect you just like Energy Shield. You'll get super armor for the entirety of it, but of course you can still be hit by beams, just, you know, reduced damage. Now, last but not least, the rush move, Rage Rush. Has a decent startup, but if this thing hits, oh boy. So you do 2 initial hits, and then you do a barrage of hits right here, which will shred health, and then you'll finish off with one last hit. But yeah, honestly, props to Miri for this character in specific. False Super Saiyan had like, what, 5 seconds of screen time on a non-canon Dragon Ball Z movie, and then he made this entire moveset. Very big props to the owner for this. Like, I love this. Alright, but now enough glazing about False Super Saiyan and how original and cool it is. It's time for a majority of the Dragon Ball fans' favorite, Vegeta. One of my better favorites too. I like him a little bit over Goku, honestly. He's really cool. Love my man. So Z is Gallic Gun or Gallic Ho. Shoots faster than Kamehameha, and of course I believe it does a bit more damage because Vegeta's base form is supposed to be on par with ×20 Kaioken. Now your X is Gallic Blazer. You'll charge up a little ball and then you'll shoot it. I believe it's lock-on dependent. It's been quite a while since I've touched Vegeta, so I have no clue. Your HZ is Dirty Fireworks. It's close range, I believe. For lock-on dependent, it will just do that. It will like blow the shit out of your opponent. HX is Elite Assault. It's a mouse-aimed rush move. It just does one hit. Boom, bam, done. I believe it stuns. I can't quite recall. It's hard to tell with, you know, on the sandbag. I believe the Goku dummy is probably like off in Narnia or something like that. So C is Explosive Wave. Just wham bam, done. Little like explosion, quick acting, done. Now HC is Final Crash, which is basically like a weak version of Final Flash that Vegeta did in the Namek Saga. And it will burst, just like Burst Kamehameha. Does quite a lot of damage, very good move. Now he has Saiyan Soul, just like Goku. Does the same exact stuff, no difference. Now your Q is Final Gallic Cannon. Mouse aimed rush move with a lot of startup. You'll first hit, and then you will just blast a huge like Gallic beam right into their chest, which will then stun them. And you can follow up with your customized clicks. You'll do 2 hits, you'll do another hit with 2 more, and you'll finish off with a fireball. This is honestly really like cool and original for Vegeta's clicks. That fireball was like only shown once in the like original Dragon Ball Z, like, you know, the version of Dragon Ball Z during the fight versus Goku for the first time. It's really cool. Like, Miri has like great creativity. And it was gonna stop me writing him again. V, Earth-Shattering Gallic Gun, or Gallic Ho. large startup V move. It lasts even longer than ×4 Kaioken Kamehameha. And it's pretty basic what it does. It's gonna destroy the Earth. Well, with quotations around it, of course. Yeah, it's a very strong move, again, because Vegeta is based off of Kaioken's, like, you know, multiplier at max power level. Next up, and only up, is Super Saiyan. As you can see, everything else is unavailable. Or Super Saiyan is just as strong as Goku. So he's got Gallic Gun, no difference. Except that it's stronger, obviously. Now HZ is Big Bang Attack. You charge up the ball, and then you shoot it, and it explodes. One of my favorite moves from Vegeta. Now he still has Elite Assault on Super Saiyan, so no difference there. X is Photon Bomber. I believe it's lock-on dependent, but you charge up a small ball, and then you shoot it, that explodes. Now you have C, Maximum Flasher. This one's just a beam. It's very reminiscent of Saint Aura Blast or Angry Kamehameha. It's just a strong beam, that's all about it. And of course, I believe a lot of people's favorites, Final Flash. Nothing to explain here, right? It's just a huge, perfect beam of Vegeta's. His G move, I am Super Vegeta.
Super Vegeta.
I believe it heals you and gives you Ki, and gives you a 100% chance of just instantly fucking dying. Well, that's a joke. Your Q move is Heat Dome Attack. You'll hop over at your target, and then you'll blow them up like this. Pretty simple and easy. Now, V is Amazing Impact. Honestly, one of my favorite moves in the game. You'll hit them, you'll do like some cool little flip, you'll hit them more times, and then you'll finish up with a large overhead. Yeah, that's about it for Vegeta. Let's finish this off nice and simple. Future Gohan. The star of the latest update where he got his massive buffs and everything. I'll start off with his clicks here because this is something really cool. I love seeing his clicks because he only has one arm. And I have cancer for some reason, but the idea is you'll hit them twice, you'll punch them, and then you'll finish off with a Kai. I really like that it's, you know, Kai. I still don't know why I took damage there, but whatever. Now your Z is one-handed Kamehameha. Pretty simple. Does a lot of damage because, of course, Future Gohan is supposed to be pretty strong on his own. HZ is After Image. Same thing as Goku. HX is Hyper Speed Movement. I think this one would be called like Type 3. It's the same as Type 1. It will stun them, but it acts out so much faster, and I believe it has less range, but it still acts out way faster. Now your HX is Masenko, or I guess one-handed Masenko, in our terms of Gohan. Quick acting beam faster than his Kamehameha. C is Gekiri Tsumadan. Same thing as Super Saiyan, except that he uses one hand. Next up, Tenma Defense. All it does is work exactly like Energy Shield, you know. You can still be grabbed, but you have super armor, yada yada yada. Your V is Hyper Explosive Demon Wave. You'll charge up, and then you'll, you know, nuke a majority of the area around you. Stops right here. And it does quite a lot of damage. Now, his G, exact same as Super Saiyan 2, it just gives you Ki. Nothing health related for Gohan. Now we've got Super Saiyan. Not much differences from base, but he's got Super Kamehameha. Just Kamehameha, but stronger. He's also got Wild Sense. It's just like Super Saiyan 4. It's like After Image, but then counters back. His X is still the same. And he's got, on HX, Senko Ki Blast. He'll charge up a little ball, and then you'll hop after you shoot it, which will explode. Now next up is Bakeretsu Makoho. I think I butchered it, but this one's kind of lock-on dependent, if I remember. You'll charge up a little blast, and once you shoot it, it'll explode. Just easy and simple. Tenma Defense is the same. Hyper Explosive Demon Wave is the same. And on Q, he has Dragon Throw. Very similar to Goku, just, again, with one hand. And that's everyone in Beta. For the love of God, nobody asked me to do Alpha. I will probably have a stroke trying to show every character in Alpha. But anyways, that was the video. This was technically my first showcase out of like the 10 other ones where I speak. And where you can actually understand me, unlike the other ones where all the speaking was just like, you know, because I had a shitty mic, if you can even call it a microphone. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little showcase. I mean, DBN's been out for so long, I think everybody knows how to do every move. But if there's somehow new people that come in, feel free to just sit back and relax and watch this one. I probably should have started with that, huh? Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next video. Probably gonna be the disaster again. I love milking that shit. Good morning, sunshine!